Hi everyone, welcome to Red Fox Sewing and Crafting, and welcome to my craft room. I'm Joanna. So today we are continuing our interactive album. We are going to be working on pages 3 and 4. And I have all my pieces right here, so we're just gonna go through all of the pieces that we need and then score everything and put them in our album as we did last week. But this time everything should be working, so we won't have any hiccups. You will need one piece that is 5 by 6. One piece that is 6 by 12. Well, you need 2 pieces that are 6 by 12. You're going to be scoring them 2 different ways though, and I'll show you. You need a piece that is 7 by 10.5. One piece that is 8.5 by 11.5. One piece that is 7.5 by 7. A piece that is 1 by 7. And one piece that is 8 by 10.75. So now we're going to grab our scoreboards out and score all our pieces. So we're going to be going in reverse order of the pieces that I said. Ooh. Stuff is falling. Just my phone holder there. So for the 8 by 10.75, we are going to start on the 8-inch side and score at 1/2 inch and at 7.5. Just like that. Then we're going to turn on the 10.75 side and we're going to score at 1.5 and at 6.5. On our 1 by 7, you want to put it on the 1 inch at the top, and we're going to score at 1/2. Our 7 by 7.5, you want the 7.5 at the top, and we're going to score this at 1/2. On the, I made an oopsie. So the 8.5 by 11.5, you need 3 of those. I only have 1 of them. So we will just score everything, and then I will go back and score this and get the other 2 prepped. But on all 3, you want to put them on the 11.5 side, and we're going to score at 5.5 and at 11. And you're going to do this to all 3 of your pieces. Your 7 by 10.5, you want the 10.5 inch side, score at 1/2. Your first 6 by 12, going to start on the 3 or the 6-inch side, and we're going to score at 3 inches. And then on the 12-inch side, you want, let me just check here, because this is special. We are doing a pop-up like this. This is the pop-up we're doing. And we're going to be making an X in the middle. So we want to do light, light marks here. So we want to score lightly at 3 and 9, just so that you know where those places are. And then we are going to, sorry if my head is in the way, but you want to line up the marks diagonally like this, and then you're just going to make a score going all the way across diagonally so that you get an X. I just want to make sure that I'm getting mine as evenly as possible. So it's going to be like this. Okay? You have your center score here. And then your 2 diagonal scores right there. Okay? And then it's just gonna go like this once it's all done. And don't worry if it's not totally even, that is totally fine. You're not gonna see it very much. On your second 6 by 12, you want the 12-inch side of the top, and you're going to score at 4 and at 8. And then on your last piece, your 5 by 6, you want the 5 inches at the top, and you're going to score at 1. Okay? That's all the scoring. So really quick, I will cut those other 2 8.5 by 11.5s and score those, and then I will come back to show you the next step. So our pieces are all scored. Now I can go through and show you how to fold and miter everything. So going to go in order again, starting with the 5 by 6, and with this one we are just going to fold it. This one gets no mitering, just fold and burnish. Let's set this off to the side. Your first 6 by 12, you want to go in opposite directions on this one, because when we're going to attach the 5 by 6 to this, and it's going to be like this. Okay, it's going to be a big M or W, the way I'm holding it. It's going to look like this. The other 6 by 12, I kind of showed you already how to fold it. I'm just going to kind of refold and burnish it so it's a little bit more crisp here. Just going to fold the center one way and then the 2 diagonals, the X, the other direction. And then just to help it kind of get in its final natural form, you can just fold it like this and kind of burnish it everywhere again. The 7 by 10.5, we are going to fold and burnish on the 1/2 inch score mark that we made, and I have my little scrapbook seeds jar here that I like to keep my tiny seeds in. Just the tiny seeds. I don't keep big seeds. Big seeds make things too big. I'm going to just miter the 2 corners. Just like that. Okay? And then if you want, you can add some double-sided adhesive. If you don't have any or don't like using double-sided adhesive, you can just use glue. That is totally fine. Our 3 8.5 by 11.5s, going to fold and burnish our score marks going the opposite direction. And you want to try your best to get it as even as possible. And our third one, just keep them as straight as you can get them. And then only on 2 of them you want to miter the 1/2 inch tab. The third one is going to be visible on the base page, so you don't want to miter that one. And then again, if you want, you can add score tape to your tabs, or double-sided adhesive. Score tape is just the fancy name for it, but it's also the expensive stuff. I do sometimes get the real stuff, but when I can, I just go for the cheap stuff when I can actually find the cheap stuff. So this is the 7 by 7.5. You're going to fold on our 1/2 inch tab here, fold and burnish as best and as evenly as you can. And then again, we are going to miter on our 2 corners. Like this. And then double-sided adhesive. For our 1 by 7, you want to fold it in half and burnish it really good. And then starting from the center point, you want to miter. And you want to do that on both sides. And then when you open it up, it should look like this. And then we'll add double-sided adhesive to both sides this time, because this is going to be a hinge that we attach our pocket to our base page, which this is our pocket. It's our 8 by 10 3/4. And just gonna make sure really quick. 4 1/4. Yes, okay. With this one, whatever you're comfortable with using, whether it be scissors or your paper trimmer or a craft knife, you want to grab it, and then you want to cut the 2 sections that are the smallest one and then the center large one. So I'm going to cut this out, and you want to cut out the score mark along with it. And then we're just going to miter those 2 sections out. And then we're going to do the same thing on this other side. And miter it out. And then we can miter these other 2 corners. Just like that. So then the way you fold it is you put the 2 side tabs up. And then the section with the side tabs on it, you want to bring up and align it with the back as best you can. And I need to realign my tabs. You need to finagle your tabs around. You can do that. As long as you're happy with it, that works. And then the little flap you just fold right down. And then you have a little pocket. So now we can add our double-sided adhesive to just the 2 1/2-inch tabs in the front of our pocket. And now we can put everything together. Going to start with the pocket and the hinge. And let me get my stiletto. So I'm just going to glue these 2 side tabs onto my pocket back to make a pocket. Just like so. And then we're going to take one side of our hinge and attach, not drop it on the pocket. You want to flip it over so that you see the back, and you want the center of the hinge to go at the bottom of your pocket. So just line it up as best as you can, just like so. And now we can grab our book, our album, and go to page 3. I'm going to attach our pocket on the bottom of our page. Just like so. And then our 7 by 7.5, we are going to put on the top of our page. There we go. If you want, you can add ribbon for your closure, but what I did in my original album and what I'm going to do in this album is use magnets. And I just used 1 pair of magnets. I put, if it doesn't run away from me, I put 1 on the flap, on the on the pocket flap. And then I flipped open the pocket. It's kind of hard to see. Got too much stuff. My other pocket, or my other magnet, is right here on the other side of my pocket. And I'm just gonna grab some double-sided adhesive and put it on the back and stick it on my flap, just like that. And now we need to cover the base page so that we can put the 8.5 by 11.5 pieces on top. So I will do that really quick. The pattern paper is on, so now we can move on to the next step, which is putting our 3 8.5 by 11.5s together. So I'm going to set the one without the corners mitered to the side really quick because I don't want to use that one yet. I'm going to attach these two together. So I'm going to put glue on one of my tabs. I'm just going to open this up really quick to make it easier. And then just going to stick it on the edge of the second one. As best I can. There. And now we can attach these two to the third one. We're attaching them the same exact way. And there is our little accordion booklet. So we can attach this to our page. And the only place where the only part of this that we're actually going to put down onto our page is the 1/2 inch tab that we didn't miter. And there is a 1 inch spacing around the whole thing. So I'm going to grab my ruler here. I'm going to go from the other side. So it might be a little easier. And maybe line it up with the edge of one of my flaps. There we go. So I can get a right measurement for this. If it doesn't move. There. Then, oh, it's 8.5. So, 1/2, or no, 3/4 on the top and bottom. And then it's 3/4 on all sides. Not 1 inch, 3/4. I love designing stuff, but I can never math. And now we can move on to page 4. For page 4, we need to add our 7 by 10.5 inch flap first. And then we need to cover the top, the insides of the flap and the base page. So cover this and this, and then we can move on to the next step. So I have my pattern pieces here, and I have my the main mechanism of my pop-up right here, and we're going to attach the pop-up mechanism to our page. And all you're going to do is add glue to just the triangle on one side, and you want to get this as centered and as straight as you can. Just like that. And then we're going to add glue to the other triangle. And we're going to close it up and squish it all down. Hopefully they'll get to stick. Then when you open it up, it'll pop up just like this. So gonna leave this off to the side to dry a little bit so that it stays attached, and we can put our last two pieces together. So you want to add glue to the outside of the 1-inch flap, just like this. And then I'm going to turn it this way. Then we're going to take our 6x12 piece, and you want this side where the score mark is going down, so you want the valley side, and you're going to attach these two pieces together like this. And then you should have a piece that looks like this. We're going to glue it like this, I think. Or, no, we're going to glue it like this. Or yeah, it's gonna go like this. So I'm going to fold this the other direction because I don't want that 1-inch piece to be showing. So if you wanted to, you could just do it the opposite way of how I did it, or you could just refold it so that the 1-inch tab is on the inside. So this is going to be very scientific here. You want to find the center of your pop-up, and you want to make sure this is all flat when you do this. So find the center of your pop-up, where the center of your X, line up the center of your matte piece, and then we're going to flip up one side, put glue on the bottom section that's exposed, so I've just put glue right here. Then we're going to put the mat back down and stick it on the mechanism like that. You're going to go on the other side flip the mat up, and we're going to put glue on the exposed part of the upper section. Just like that. And it doesn't matter if you do this bottom section and this top section, as long as you're doing one bottom and one top, it'll work. So then once that's done, and I find my pin, you might need to help your pop-up work the first time. But what you want to do is lift up both sides and make sure the center is popping up too. And then as it closes, it should you might want to pop up your mechanism too to get it to work too. It should turn like this and then squish down just like that. So if you see, don't know if you can, but I made sure that my mechanism was folded how I originally had it when I first squished it, so that it would work. And I had this scored or folded where I wanted it folded, so then it can just turn like this and close down like that. Then when it pops up, it will open up just like this. And it might take a couple times to actually get it to fully work on its own. So that is pages 3 and 4. If you liked this video, hit the like button down below. If you want to see more videos continuing this album, other albums, other projects, hit subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.